Oh my goodness.
I knew you were gonna pause
Had to. Guys.
Let's get into it.
I had an epiphany, I was repeating history. I was doing everything I hated, a weight on my shoulders, I let it all get to me. I had an epiphany, I just smiled at my enemies. I was listening to everybody who was talking but never did shit for me. Yeah, I had an epiphany, I was looking at everybody else that's up in the industry, they ain't as sick as me. I had an epiphany, I was seeing somebody that never had no good intentions for me, now she missing me, yeah. Yeah, moral of the story is nobody did it for me, had to make a change.
Okay. I feel like those, okay, that I had epiphany, I realized something, I was repeating history.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those are the best epiphanies. That ever happened to you?
Like, what do you mean?
When you just like, to me it's kind of like waking up. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, I realized I'm doing the same cycle I was doing last year, 3 years ago. Like, when you see like life cycles and like you haven't grown, so you're just doing the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you said, he was repeating history. Mm-hmm. It's like, I love getting those epiphanies where like, it's like love-hate. Because when you know what I mean? Like when you get it,
right?
It's like, it's a good thing that you had that epiphany so you can make some changes and like, why am I in the same situation? Clearly I'm doing the same things. You know what I mean? You can make some changes, but then it also like, it's not the best because like, dang, I haven't grown at all, have I?
Nope. Just like, you would be doing things different if you had made changes.
Right?
So.
What do you think about this, his name is Futuristic?
So I think this
is that the song? No, the song's Epiphany, clearly. So his name's Futuristic.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, like, what's your first impression of him?
So I liked how it started off slow and then the beat dropped and his voice came right in and then it picked up. Like, I liked that transition. As far as his tone,
it's a different sound.
I don't know. Like, I partially like it because it has like a nice texture on it, but then I partially don't like it because it's a little bit like, You know what I mean?
That's a perfect description.
You know what
I mean? I know exactly what you mean. It's an interesting tone for me.
Yeah.
It's an interesting tone. I agree.
I had an epiphany, I was seeing somebody that never had no good intentions for me, now she missing me, yeah. Moral of the story is nobody did it for me, had to make a change. I was living in the city with no scene, I had a dream, I had to make a lane. Always knew that I couldn't live off a minimum wage, ripping the pay stub. I had a minimal taste for all the fame stuff, but I got into the game without a cent to my name, and now I'm balling like I'm in the NBA, bruh. And I know I got a lot, but I'm not content. If they ask me to stop, I will not consent. Never let nobody block, it's my shot to miss. You can meet me at the top if you hop the fence, and you climb the stairs, and you fight the beast, and you lose your way, then you find your peace, and you do it sober, then you find a drink, then you spiral down, and it all repeats. And I always had a vision, I could get it, so I did it by my lonely. I don't owe nobody nothing, never let no.
Okay. So that last part, the like cycle, is that not the truth?
Right.
Annoying.
So when you do it sober, then you find a drink, then it all repeats or whatever.
Then you spiral down, then it all repeats.
Yeah.
Isn't that annoying though?
Yeah.
When it's like you do something that you feel good about, then you get bored of it, so then you sabotage yourself, and then you create something to soothe the savagery so that you spiral and do it all over again.
Right.
Finally, when you get back up to feeling good, it's time to start all over.
Right. It just takes like one decision to start that cycle all over. Like for him, it was like, you're sober, then you find a drink. Now that started the whole cycle all over again. But it's just like one decision. One decision can get you back to the downward spiral.
Yeah. Even just like, I feel like it works the same way with thoughts. Like one bad thought can literally lead to you thinking like bad thoughts the whole day. Mm-hmm. Like one conversation in your head that's like negative against someone else, and the rest of your day is trash.
Right? It could be.
I also like how they're like switching places. Like, you know what I mean? Like it zooms into his hoodie and like he started eating, then zooms in the other guy's finishing. Okay. You know what I mean? I like that. Because it's like we're all living the same life even though we look different. Like we're all living the same cycle is what I get from that. We're all living in a pattern of a cycle.
But our own cycle.
Okay. But it's like, it doesn't really matter what the person looks like. It's a different version of the same story.
Something like that.
My
take is a little different.
Something
but
like,
I get
how do I shorten what
you have the artistic expression, you know what I mean? And mine's the more literal. So I get what you're saying. My take is different.
Fight the beast, and you lose your way, then you find your peace, and you do it sober, then you find a drink, then you spiral down, and it all repeats. And I always had a vision, I could get it, so I did it by my lonely. I don't owe nobody nothing, never let nobody on me. Got some money from the music and I spend it on the homies, but don't put nothing before me. Gave a whip to Lil Brody and I'm only getting started. And I'm eating with the people that I starve with. And my batteries, I had to recharge them. I made an album, but that shit was garbage. Yo, I was trapped in a gimmick, I finally get it. I'm here to make music that matters. If I die, it'll all be alright, cause the message I gave you will live for me after. And my chapter will highlight a lifetime of energy gave through a bright mind. How you never had to stand on the sideline. How you the guide to your own guidelines. That's
Okay, what you got?
What? I didn't pause it.
Yes, I paused it for you.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. But I was thinking the beat was going to drop, so I was like, okay, before we finish with this first portion, was there anything else that you had before NF comes in? Because I feel like he's going to come in soon with his verse.
Yeah, he's going to come in. I don't know.
I was sitting there thinking, like, how do you think they decided to work together on this song? Because I feel like this other guy is saying he was in it to make real music and, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's kind of, like, on the same, like, real music, real vibes or whatever. Do you think he just reached out to NF's people and was like, hey, can you get on my song? Or do you think they collabed in the song together?
I don't know. They might be friends, you know?
True.
I have no idea. Because I've never heard of this guy. But, so, I don't know how famous he is or was back then. So, I mean, they could have just been friends. Like, industry friends, you know? Or just friends.
To me, this Futuristic looks a little bit more, you know, he's like, he got a car for his brother, and, like, literally nothing's wrong with that, but his look and his, like, the topics he talks about are a little bit more, like, industry. You know what I mean? I feel like NF's is, like, he lives in Tennessee, like, you know what I mean?
Right, but
according
this
to
is
his
one
Instagram.
song.
True. I don't know.
Like, yeah, he said he put his homies on, he spent some money on his friends, and bought his little brother a car. He's just getting started. I mean, I think that's fine.
Right, but
Like, who wouldn't want to buy a family member a car?
Right,
you know what I
nothing's
mean?
wrong with that.
He's not, like, at the club slinging $100 bills into G-strings. You know what I mean? It's like...
But I'm just saying, I pick up off of him that he is a little bit more into the glitz and the glamour and the lifestyle. That is my read on him.
You might be right, but I'm just saying this one song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, look, all it takes is one encounter, you know?
I have to hear some more songs before I drop the hammer on someone. You gotta chill. This is one song.
Okay. Cause the message I gave you will live for me after. And my chapter will highlight a lifetime of energy gave through a bright mind. How you never had to stand on the sideline. How you the guide to your own guidelines. That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah. That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah. I had an epiphany that I could make history, that I could prove everyone wrong that told me I wasn't cut out for this music thing. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if I took my energy and use it on positive things in my life instead of the people that lie to me, huh? Yeah, I had an epiphany that I could put all of my hurt in the music and use it for people that might feel the same as me. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if everyone knew my depression was worse than they thought? They probably gonna look at me differently. Yo, this song.
Okay. I'm sorry, wait.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, see, now I pause it, now you want to talk.
Yeah! You know that pause for you.
I pause it so I can talk.
Okay, what you got? Let's hear it.
When NF came in, it just hit different.
It hit
You know what I mean?
different.
I got goosebumps and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
His voice, his tone, his commitment to the words.
His epiphanies.
His epiphanies.
His epiphanies hit different.
Yes.
I was like, with each epiphany, it was getting better and better. I was like, oh, I was just getting into it more and more. You know, I was like, oh, his epiphanies were good.
I see why Futuristic wanted NF on this.
Right? He's like, bro, come bless my track, please.
Right.
Please bless the track. I actually want to hear this whole verse.
Right?
Run
it back. It was so, it just came in so I don't even know what the word would be.
Right? But it just, when it came in, you felt it.
Yes. So varsity.
This music thing.
So varsity.
I can make history.
Varsity?
Yeah, so varsity. You know what I mean? I was feeling very JV, like so junior varsity with Futuristic.
Quit flaming,
No,
dude.
I'm just saying.
Quit. It's one song.
True. I'll give him another chance, but I'm just saying.
It's one song.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? So he has to be a good artist for NF to work with him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like we can't just one song them.
You
know
guys
what
have
I mean?
any recommendations for other Futuristic stuff?
Like, everybody has songs, and it's not people's favorite. You know what I mean? But it's like,
true.
Not gonna one song this guy.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I had an epiphany that I could make history, that I could prove everyone wrong that told me I wasn't cut out for this music thing. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if I took my energy and use it on positive things in my life instead of the people that lie to me, huh? Yeah, I had an epiphany.
Okay, that epiphany. Like, take my energy using on positive things in my life instead of people that lied to me or whatever. It's like just yesterday. Just yesterday.
What was happening yesterday?
Someone was messaging me on Snapchat.
Okay.
About an argument they were having with someone else on Facebook. But it's like, how much, and like, you know, they were getting into it with someone on Facebook, this and that, you know what I mean? But it's like, what if, instead of arguing with people on Facebook, because arguments, they don't just come find you, you know what I mean? Like, it's like someone has to be looking for an argument, you have to be looking for an argument too. And then you guys meet up. You guys are a good match, you know what I mean? But it's like, what if you take that energy, instead of like debating people on Facebook, because you never change anyone's mind on Facebook, what's the point of it? But just instead of doing that, what if you just put it into positive things? You know, what if you have that epiphany?
Right. Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because not only are you arguing with someone, it's like, this is a complete waste of time and energy. Then, like, you're festering over it. Then you got to go tell someone about the arguments. Like, I don't really want to be in this conversation either.
Yeah, true.
I'm like, bro, you know better than to be arguing with people on Facebook. We've had this conversation.
Right.
Like, yeah, I know, but yeah, that's how the conversation went. Like, I didn't really want to have the conversation because I don't want to focus my energy on other people's arguments on Facebook. You know what I mean?
I mean, arguments have a way of depleting you.
Right?
Like, it's just
feel
like,
drained after.
You just feel drained.
What do you get
like,
from it?
It's like, realistically, that other person that's like waiting for an argument, they're not going to lose to you.
Right.
Like, they're going to be equally ready to go.
Right. No one's going to win. Both people really lose.
Right. So, yeah. But he did have the epiphany that people feeling the same way could listen to his music. You know what I'm saying? So you could put your man on.
Right. Need to.
I could put all of my hurt in the music and use it for people that might feel the same as me. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if everyone knew my depression was worse than they thought? They probably gonna look at me differently. Yo, this song got me going back when I was a stupid kid, thinking maybe I can make it in the music biz, and then I figured out the politics and realized that half of y'all don't even know what music is. Ain't going nowhere, I told them to get used to me. Feels like I'm living in a movie scene, a bunch of people trying to tell me how to act and breathe. One thing I never let nobody ever do is tell me who to be. I never got into the party scene, maybe I was just scared to drink, cause addiction, it runs in my family, that's someone I was scared to be. I look pitiful compared to...
Oh my goodness.
I knew you were gonna pause
Had to. Guys. Anyone who has been closely related to an addict knows that life. Like, I did not party in college. I literally, went to...
Less than a handful.
Less than 5.
For people that might feel the same as me. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if everyone knew my depression was worse than they thought? They probably gonna look at me differently. Yo, this song got me going back when I was a stupid kid, thinking maybe I can make it in the music biz, and then I figured out the politics and realized that half of y'all don't even know what music is. Ain't going nowhere, I told them to get used to me. Feels like I'm living in a movie scene, a bunch of people trying to tell me how to act and breathe. One thing I never let nobody ever do is tell me who to be. I never got into the party scene, maybe I was just scared to drink, cause addiction, it runs in my family, that's someone I was scared to be. I look pitiful compared to me, since I can barely read. All I wanted was somebody I could trust that I knew would keep it real with me. Rap's always been a man for me, that's when I figured out that maybe I'm the one that's gotta make it on my own. Yeah, it's clear to see. The people thinking what I'm doing is a gimmick. Everything you hear me writing, I've been living. I ain't quitting, sending money to my family, trying to show them that I miss them, and I cherish every moment when I'm home, when I'm with them. And it's just the way that I feel. In the industry of fakes, trying to stay real. In the industry of lames, trying to get deals. Lord knows I'ma get it, that sneak milk. Yeah, I lay in my bed and I thinking there's gotta be more to me. I'm trying to pay off the mortgaging, but the life of the people I love in the midst of it. I've always thought that if I learn from mistakes that I make, even losses are victories. That's when it starts hitting me. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything. That's an epiphany.
Ooh.
If I learn from my mistakes, even losses are victories.
Yep.
That's facts. And that be spitting. Preaching. Oh my goodness.
Preaching.
I mean, I feel like that's the only way you could look at losses.
For real.
Any other way to look at it.
It's like you're just a loser.
Yeah, it's like any other way to look at it, you're gonna have a rough life.
Yeah.
It's like really that's the only acceptable option, to look at your losses and failures and all those things. You know what I mean?
But when you do look at it like that, I feel like the next time something happens, you're totally different. You handle it different. You move different. Like, it is a victory. Like, you're literally more prepared for the next situation.
And looking at it like that, it kind of removes some of the sting from some of those losses, because some of them hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like looking at stuff like that.
Yeah. I love that he's so positive. Like, it's not that he's like, airy-fairy avoiding the truth type stuff, but he's like, it is what it is, but how can I make this work for me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how can I make this a positive thing? I love that.
You ready to get back into it?
I mean, let's go.
Are you ready? Let's go.
I lay in my bed at night thinking there's gotta be more to me. I'm trying to pay off the mortgage and live the life of the people I love in the midst of it. I've always thought that if I learn from mistakes that I make, even losses are victories. That's when it starts hitting me. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything. That's an epiphany. That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah.
You pause it. What do you have for me?
Oh, it's over. That doesn't count. But no,
right.
I could come up with something.
Oh,
I could talk all day.
I know.
You want to go?
I know you can. I know you can. But, yeah, overall, I like that song. Both people in the song, I liked it both. So, yeah, NF has a better sound than the other dude in the song. But, I mean, I like both the messages.
Yeah.
And that both people had. I like the song overall. I mess with it. And the last thing NF said, or one of the last things, like, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. It's a cliche phrase, but it's true.
Right.
I mean, within reason.
Right.
I feel like some things just, I mean, you're not, based on your natural, like, proclivities, like, you're not going to do some things. Like, within reason, like, most things, like, you put your mind to it. So, I'm saying I agree with it.
Right.
I definitely agree with that. Put your mind to it, you can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I love the, like, messaging in this music, like this, to me, I was thinking, oh, he's going to be a feature, and I was like, well, it's on the journey, so everyone says we should do it, but I really just want to listen to his music.
You're not into the features.
I was not trying to, like, hear him featured, because I want to hear him as the main,
The only.
Yeah, like, but it went right along with his brand. Like, it went right along with that. Even the sound, like, the production quality was good. The visuals were good. Like, the only, like, critique I had was the dude's tone, the futuristic dude's tone. But, I mean, also that might just be this song specifically.
Right, maybe a little tuned up.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But, I mean, overall, I think it was I'll listen to it again. Gotta catch some more lines.
Right?
Nuggets. I feel like every NF song he says something that slaps so hard, like it's so personal, that I've never heard another piece of music that says that exact same thing.
And for you, it was the partying, like, not
it
the
was
party scene?
Yeah.
See, for me, it was his first epiphanies. It's like, ooh, just the way he came in with those epiphanies, that just, woo.
Touched your soul.
Wasn't ready. You know what I mean? That just, it hit different.
Yeah. It's crazy, too, because I feel like I suppose his talking voice and, like, his voice would not be the same as his rapping voice, but I find it hard to believe that because, like, when he raps, it sounds like he's just, like, writing on a page. Like, it sounds like he's literally just telling you what he was thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it sounds so good. Like, it sounds so, like, varsity that, like, isn't it a great word for it, though? I feel like it's a good word for it. It just sounds so, like, oh, he's got to be just, like, really, 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 really well practiced. But it's like, I feel that it's so real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I bet he developed that voice.
Right.
When he was rapping when he was younger, it probably wasn't the same voice. You know what I mean?
Right. But I don't know. It just sounds so like you could have a conversation with him at the gas station while he's pumping gas, and it wouldn't be very different. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy how relatable.
Wait, so you just picture pumping gas and that walks up. I had an epiphany.
Well, they had the scene where he was pumping gas, so I was like, that's probably like a very realistic scenario.
All right, let's go get gas after this. See what happens. Let's go.
I'm just saying, it's tripping me out because it's like so relatable. It's just so like a real person. And usually most of these musicians and artists stuff are just, by the time they're this famous, they're just so like a caricature of a person, you know?
Right. And a lot of people like to auto-tune.
Yes.
So you're saying you like that it just sounds like his raw voice.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's all I got.
That's all I have on this one. I'm going to wrap her up.
All right. Thank you, family, for all the comments, likes, and subscriptions. You know it helps us. It helps, like, you know, boost us in the algorithm and stuff. And so, like, we start getting more people and like, meeting more people and stuff. It's kind of cool. But, yeah, if you guys have any recommendations on Futuristic that we should check out, let us know. And if he's just like this, then let us know. Anyway, we appreciate y'all. That's a wrap.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. We to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't know.